What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Well, it's really late at the moment, but you know what? I thought before I actually go to sleep today, I wanted to just jump on and do a live for everybody because I've just got done just speaking to some fantastic clients and just got done with my day. And happy Sunday to every single person that's on here at the moment. Those of you who's here watching me live, like, what's up? Hello. But I just couldn't go to sleep without actually just doing this live. I really wanted to talk about this because it's something really, really powerful about feeling your fear and doing it anyway. Okay. And also taking messy fucking action. You see, I know so many people who likes to just make sure everything is in order to do certain things. And there's just something about fear that I feel as though that a lot of people use it as an ammunition, use it as a safety net to just not show the fuck up. And the reason why I wanted to come on here, because I want to stand for every single person who's ever felt the fear and just did it anyway. And I want to stand for those of you who are feeling the fear, not too sure whether or not you should be doing certain things, and do it anyway. I want to stand for those people who feel the fear but just stay exactly where they are. The reason why I want to stand for you is because you're not going to sit there forever. When you allow yourself to no longer be pivoted by your ego, pivoted by other people's opinions, pivoted by your narrative, the moment that you have the thought or you have the desire that what your circumstances is doing for you is not serving you, you show the fuck up. Like, I just need to make it clear. And also the reason why I really want to talk about this even more, because fear is often seen as though it's an obstacle. Fear is often seen as something, right? Okay, well, I have this fear, so I'm just going to stay exactly where I'm at. I'm telling you right now that there is about 15 different benefits when it comes to fear. And when you start to learn the art of what your fear is, and how to feel it, and then just do it anyway and show up for yourself, that little voice starts to get really quiet, real quiet. So I just wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about this because I just feel as though it's absolutely key. And I feel often enough, a lot of people don't really understand that this fear is the reasons why often these things are not happening for you. These things are happening to you. Okay, because that's how you perceive them. That's how you see them. So when you see them that way, you're not going to actually really acknowledge the learning and the lessons. The moment that you can feel the fear and do it anyway, it's like it's a game changer. And I can definitely say to you right now, like, I feel the fear, like, not so much when I come on lives, but I feel the fear of so many different things, the unknown, because you're unfamiliar with certain things. So I really wanted to talk about this with you guys today. And those of you who doesn't know, like, I've got a fantastic masterclass that is happening on Wednesday. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk about this even more about the fear, one of my fears has always been, like, I really want to say this, had always been hosting a really big event and nobody turns up. And literally, like, I just want to say to you guys, like, literally, I sat down for 10 minutes on the Zoom link and I was like, okay, nobody's turning up. And we had a few people actually turned up. And I always plan to do a second day anyway, in regards to my masterclass, but that's besides the point. The reason why I really wanted to raise it, because I could have easily well sat down there on that live and just said to myself, okay, cool. Should I do this because I've only got 4 people here? Or should I do this because whatever? Like, I really want to, and I want to say to you that these things came into my mind. Like, honestly, like, I'm so authentic, I'm so straight up, I'm so to the point. But I wanted to say this to you guys because this is one of my past fears. And it's something really interesting because I'm into numerology and everything. And those of you who book private readings with me, you'll obviously get that as well. But I was on it. Like, I was feeling like, whoa, okay, this fear's come in. But if I didn't do the work to actually absorb that, I could have got into a straight up panic. A normal person would have just gone into a straight up panic. And I was just like, shoot, no, cool. Let's just do this. Let's just send it through, send it through. Those people who can't make it, don't worry about it. And here's the reason why, because I have no expectations. I have no expectations that I'm going to have people here watching me. I have no expectations that people are going to watch my lives. I have no expectations that people are going to want to work with me. I have no expectations. But what do? I show the fuck up. And I show the fuck up because I know that there's people out there that will. There's people out there that needs to hear the message. There's people out there who wants to be of service. There's people out there who are allowing their fear to be the reasons why they don't show up. They're allowing their narrative to be the reason why they don't show up. And that's the reason why I'm here. And that's the reason why I do what I do. Because I love it. I love it because I have done the work myself and I know what it takes to show up on a live. I know what it takes to put something together. I know what it takes to actually put together a business from scratch and just go with it. I know what it takes to actually feel the fear. I know what it takes to be in a relationship that you just don't want to be in, And this is the reason why the whole coaching experience for me is so key. And that's the reason why as a coach, it's important that you have a freaking coach. Because what you need to go through and the changes that you need to go through is really, really key, because that's how you're going to offer more value, not only to your clients, but to yourself. So I want to talk about this because this is about thriving. Like those of you who's just been sitting there and you're like, okay, I feel this fear at the moment. Like, how are you thriving and how are you pushing yourself to really get out of your way to really see yourself? It's so easy. I've heard so many people so many times sit there and say to me, okay, cool. I joined this program and I done this and I done that, and I'm on this healing journey and all these different things. That's absolutely great. But growth never stops. That's like when you wake up in the morning, like, if you hear the birds singing, they're not singing any different than they were yesterday. Growth never stops. Your environment never stops. Things always happen. Things will always show up. So if you're waiting for the perfect time to actually show up for yourself, then you're going to be waiting for a long fucking time. It's time to take action. It's time to have intentions by your actions. So I wanted to jump on and I wanted to do this live. How are you living your fear? Like, how are you living with your own fear? What is your fear actually stopping you from actually doing? And I really wanted to use that recent story that I used the other day because it's so freaking key. I see so many people don't want to do lives. Don't want to do lives. I see so many people don't want to get up and really, really show up for themselves, but want to earn money, want to do all these different things. I see so many people copy other people's ideas. Like, I'm being real with you. It happens. But here's the thing. When you have no expectations of the outcome, that is where the magic is. That is where it's gold. That's where shit changes. That's where you actually move yourself into the unfamiliar, unknown. And that's where you can recreate. That is where that you can do what it is that you are best at actually doing. If you allow yourself to be living by the outcome of other people's expectations, of the expectations that you have of yourself, or the expectations of not knowing what's going to happen in the unknown, then you're going to forever allow yourself to really sit exactly where you are. So it's so key to understand why fear is there. Why is it there? Why is it happening? And why is it happening for you? How we accomplish our goals despite having the fear or facing doubts or uncertainty about how we proceed is the positive side of fears and benefits. And a lot of people don't really talk about this, because a lot of people look at fear as something quite negative, but actually it's quite the opposite sometimes when you actually do the work and understand it. What does fear really mean? Fear is the condition of being afraid of something or being worried about something, about an outcome that has not fucking happened. Like I want to make this clear to you guys, because when I actually learned this, not only being mentored by my fantastic fucking coach, Kyra T. Casey, in regards to this, but I'm telling you right now that when you start doing the work, you start to see the changes in yourself. What does fear really mean? Now, we all have to face and we all have to deal with different types of fear of various different stages, in our life. But is fear really a bad thing? What is the message behind the communication when it comes to fear? What is the message being communicated by fear? And a lot of people don't listen to this because too much fear actually paralyzes our actions. Hear me when I say this to you guys. Fear is not necessarily a bad thing. It's one of the inbuilt human survival instincts. I teach this on my program all the time. There's a difference between you being human and there's a difference between your being. It's so key. So key. When you go field with a lot of these different things, you understand it a lot more why the unknown is the unknown. Fear is not necessarily an absolute bad thing. It's one of these inbuilt human survival kits that's been given to us as humans. Too much fear, it just paralyzes you so much that you don't actually move. You don't do the things that you're supposed to do. Have you ever done something that where you're so fearful of actually doing it, then looking back, you wonder, why was I scared? Do you see where I'm going with this? And here's the interesting thing. You can't see it. You can't taste it. It's something that you create in your mind. It's an illusion. And many people actually face different fears every day. And I'm saying this because I've done it myself. I feel the fear like of doing certain things that I'm not familiar with. Sorry, you guys, I think I got something in my mouth, but I'm not familiar with it. My biggest fear is one of the things of not showing up for myself. That was one of my fears. And I'm like, how can I just be fearful of not showing up for myself? That was actually, when I looked at it, was my fear. My fear was actually not showing up for myself. And here's the reason why. Because I was fearful that if I didn't show up for myself, how can I deliver the message to other people if I can't do that? Okay, that was my fear. I know that it sounds crazy. Another fear, and I've spoken about this so many different times, fear of being successful, fear of actually really recuperating and just doing what it is that I do best. By doing so, and when I examined that fear a little bit more, I was like, okay, cool. How can we actually find a solution for it? The solution was get real fucking clear on your self-care. Get real fucking clear on your structure. Don't get me wrong, you can feel it, but you being it is two different things. And many people fears this, has different fears every single day, but the fear of failure as a result can really push you. And I can tell you right now, this is how I used to feel about 2-3 years ago. The fear of failure used to push me hard and allow me to really set targets for myself so that the efforts were exerted and my progress becomes worth it. Being fearful is a scary feeling, and it makes one just start to imagine all sorts of outcomes and all sorts of scenarios, things that has not happened yet. But sometimes the fear can be so intense to the point that you don't do anything. There's no action, it's inaction. But persevering through this, and in spite of the fears, it stems from a determination to really succeed and just to make a difference in your lives and those of other people, to make a mark in the world. I see so many different people, especially the line of work that I do, who are intuitive healers, who are really in tune with their intuition, who are blessed with a gift and don't give it. Don't share it with anybody else. By you doing that, please note that your message, you're denying not only the message to yourself, but you're not honoring yourself. And you're not honoring the other people who may have felt the way you felt yesterday or 2 months ago and wanted to do what it is that they wanted to do, but they fear it. By you not honoring your gift, you're also letting down so many different people that you could actually give that same message to. So many different people, they do all these different fantastic things in terms of their business, but they're consistently not showing up, and then they consistently want the money to come in and they consistently want their business to grow. But how are you doing? What are you doing to change that narrative? What are you doing to change that feeling? What are you doing to give to others? If you allow fear to be the dictation as to how you show up and how you're being, then you're constantly going to feel fear. Universe and energy only gives you what it is that you feed yourself. And I need to make that so clear. It is that freaking simple, like that simple. So freaking simple. So in order for you to make a difference in your life, in order for you to absolutely succeed and give yourself what it is that you're absolutely warranted and what it is that you deserve, you need to think about how are you persevering through in spite of your fear. Where does it stem from? Mine stemmed from determination, because it's a part of my growth. It's a part of a human being to feel the fear. But the outcome is what you do with your being. It's about you changing that outcome. Because remember, the outcome hasn't happened yet. The fear is only going on experiences. The fear is only going to go on whatever took place in the past. It's not going on the present because you're not fucking moving. You're not doing anything. You're allowing yourself to be stuck. And remember, the only person who has control over you is you. And the only person who has control over the fear is you. So I'm going to quickly like skim through all of these little tips that I basically thought of that could really help some of you guys just to really understand where we're going. Okay, here we go. Jennifer Brown, you are not alone. Jennifer, I love that you're here. Okay, Cece, I'm scared to go live. Cece, like, listen, you just need to get on a call with me, because I'm telling you right now, you're holding yourself back. And here's the reason why. When you heighten your awareness, this is one thing I want to share with everybody. At the basic level, when it comes to fear, it really guides us to fight or flight responses, and it helps us to really keep safe and alive. But what it also does, fear heightens your senses and your awarenesses, and it keeps you alert and helps you in a better preparation. Now, I'm showing you this so you can reverse how it is that you're viewing fear, how it is that you're seeing things. The negative side of fear is when it holds you back from doing something positive. Now, most people already know that when you're aware of what types of fear that you face, the common fears include fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of change, fear of public speaking, fear of losing, fear of the unknown. Ironically, also the fear of success. But I love that you've said that, fear of being seen, Cece. Too much fear is like trying to fly in a plane with excess baggage. And I've done that. And I had to pay for it as well. All right. But you might have to dump some or just pay a hefty price to really check it in. To achieve great potential or greater heights, have fear and still push through it is key. Overcoming your fear is almost like it's done through action. Okay. What action are you actually taking today to make sure that you are honoring yourself? I want to say something to you that a fantastic author I'd actually mentioned, H.P. Lovecraft, had actually said the oldest and strongest emotion of a mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. When you need to get up on the alive, you don't know who's watching you, you don't know what's taking place. But here's the thing, the more and more you keep on doing it, I'm telling you right now, the fear starts to quieten down. And if you have a problem in that area in doing that, in terms of the number one fear, like fear out of flying or jumping out of a plane, that's not even the number one fear. The number one fear is getting up on public speaking, getting up on stage and doing it and putting yourself out there and being authentic as well with actually doing it. A lot of people cannot do it because, hey, we're attached to the outcome. Hey, we're attached to your expectations. But a part of our human being is to feel the fear, but a part of your being is just to do it anyway. So acknowledge and really enlightenment is really key, what you learn from fear. The next thing, focus and concentration. What do you want to actually achieve out of your life? Like, I'd love to know what everybody else wants to achieve here, because it's so key. You need to make a clear definition in terms of your vision and what it is that you want to do, and the success and how you want to back it up with the hunger that you absolutely want to achieve. Because here's the thing, when you create a goal that is set up for success and it keeps you on track, when you can run it consistently and really have confidence to really jump over obstacles or your path, including fear, the next thing is, how are you going to break out of it? transcend and rise above fear. And that is where people kind of lose themselves. When at the end of the rope, all you have to do is make a decision. Fear inspires intense focus. Fear keeps you absolutely alert. It keeps you surviving. It keeps you progressing. And it's almost like a thermometer. It's like it's checking in with you. That lets you know that you're moving in a hot area or doing something beyond the normal. But if you're busy focusing on the falling bricks, you'll never realize that you're absolutely, truly stepping stones. You're stepping on stepping stones that you need to absolutely cross over, you guys, cross over in order to phase your life and to bring your life into the place and the abundance that you need to be. Who's here like listening to me? Like, I just want to know, like, who's here listening to me right now? Number 4. Preparing and planning is really, really, really key. Preparation, it includes feeding yourself with positive encouragement. And this is what I'm going to be teaching everybody when it comes to the masterclass, because the masterclass that is taking place at the moment on Wednesday, the 10th of March, we're going to be talking about how to change your self-doubt into self-confidence. Real key. So I'll be pushing out the link shortly. And when I push it out, you guys just need to sign up and you need to be there. Bums on seats, 8 p.m. 8 EST. Cannot wait to see you. But preparation and planning is real key. Okay. So planning really includes documenting your starting point, seeing the big picture, breaking it down into smaller tasks and taking action, and just tracking your progress as you reach each small milestone. See beyond your current circumstances is really, really key. And in order for you to do that, you need to start visualizing where you absolutely want to be. But you can't do that when you're allowing fear to be the block. Okay, very key. A dose of perseverance, it really helps you to stay one step ahead in terms of the game. And when you feel down or fearful, feel like giving up, it helps. Just one thing to do is to hang in there and to live to fight another day. You have a choice today. And your choice is to analyze, and you need to evaluate certain things. Fear prompts one to really, really identify your choices and your options. It analyzes them and it allows you to absolutely evaluate what is your best course of action and what is your circumstances and how is it serving you right now. But analyzing, don't overanalyze, because what you then do is then you allow yourself to be paralyzed of the analysis. And then you overanalyze, which is part of the problem. The second part of the problem is then taking the wrong action. Evaluate your advantages and your disadvantages of a solution. Anticipate the problems. Be cautious and bold. And if you need to really start seeking some external, perspective and fresh points of view, this is the reason why it's so important to have a coach. Have somebody there to support you. So when you're feeling the fear, what happens is that your coach actually pulls you out of your own way and says, no, you need to do this. Being clear, analyze what's taking place and evaluate. This is the types of things that comes up when it comes to your fear. You can't attack the giants in your life. Okay, Kemi said this. You can't attack the giants in your life if you're not aiming to strike and hit the target. You can't run a race in vain if you have no plans to win or to finish it. Start, strive, and aim high. Never give up. Your best is yet to come, but you won't know that if you're not dissecting the extremes. Is it worth it? How much do I really desire this outcome? How much is it really going to cost? This is the key question that I want to ask you guys. If you are not allowing yourself to really, really push forth, if you're not allowing yourself to really, really go where you absolutely need to go, if you're not allowing yourself to really, really, really stay in that space, who do you think that you are letting down? Who do you think that you are allowing to actually stand for you? Because if you can't stand for yourself, you can't look for others to give it to you. I see so many different people look to other people to give them, even in your business. I just feel like I've just gone on a rampage today. I don't know if this is a rant or something like that, but I have to be honest with you guys. It's now 12:40 in the morning in the UK, and I've literally just got up and I'm like, do you know what? I'm just going to do a live because I have seen this so many times. And I'm telling you this from experience. Dissecting your extremes is real key, because this is where your fear normally actually shows up. It shows up in this way, A, to protect you, but B, is also based on other experiences. And this is the reasons why we don't show up for ourselves. This is the worst thing that can absolutely happen. This is what you're doing, okay? What are the major benefits of actually proceeding? I can't invest that money into my business. I can't invest that money into her. I can't invest my money into a program and do all of these different things. And here's another thing. I'm going to invest it because I'm worth it, but then don't show up. I'm going to invest it and not be consistent. It's like it's almost like you've set yourself up, you self-sabotaged yourself. It's almost like you've set yourself up for the reasons why you're actually not going to show up. By dissecting your extremes is really, really, really key. By not taking any action, you cannot expect your results to change. You cannot expect your outcomes to change because you are not taking the actions consistently to do that. You are allowing your fear and you're allowing your own narratives to be the reasons why you stay exactly where you are. How many people sat down there and said, okay, cool, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get this all done and blah, blah. And then the next day it's like, oh God, I feel so tired. I can't really do this. I can't really do that. Here's the thing, what you're doing. It's almost like you're fighting your old self with your new self. You can't create your new self. You can't step into that place where you're not allowing yourself to really, really step into that place, to take that step. I just talked about the stones. And it's a bumpy road. And a lot of people like to come off of it because they're scared, because they can't see what's going to happen at the end of it. But by you staying where you are choosing to stay exactly where you are. You can't expect your results to absolutely change when you're not changing. So I remember when I invested so much money into personal development, like I'm not even going to talk about the figures, but I invested so much money. And I was like, what exactly am I actually going to gain from this? What exactly am I actually going to really, really, really do? And I tell you what, it was the best thing that I'd ever done, because imagine how many years that you've allowed yourself to be stuck in the same place that you are in currently. Like how much tax that you have allowed to take place in your energy. Like how many people has been in your energy and literally taxing your asses right now, taking every single fucking energy that you have got from you. How many times have you allowed yourself to really sit in that space? I'm telling you right now, like you guys are due some rebate. You do some rebate. And that's the reason why I done a video early on about reevaluating your fucking diets. Like I said it the other day, I said, I am officially on a fucking diet. I'm on a diet from toxic people. I'm on a diet from negative energy. I'm on a diet of all these different things. Like I'm on a diet in a different way. And by me going on that diet, not only was I standing for myself, but I was also standing for my business. So this is the reason why I'm talking about this so much. When fear comes up for you, how can you turn that around? Why is it coming up for you? And if you don't allow yourself the support to have somebody there to support you, to give you guidance where you need to go, you're always going to then be relying on yourself. But half the time you are the problem. You are the reasons why these things are coming up. Somebody shared something about mindset the other day. So key. But in order for you to change your mindset, you need to acknowledge that the problems are absolutely there and deal with those processes. Allow yourself to be healed. Allow yourself the space to honor who you're absolutely being by dissecting your extremes in certain things. I'm telling you, at the heart of fear of failure, fear of change, fear of the unknown is a risk. And facing fears and really building the fear muscle requires an appetite for risk taking. Moving into the unknown is absolutely scary, but fear provides an opportunity to really dissect the most extreme, the worst case, the risky and the dangerous outcomes, and identify really a course of action that is more palatable under the current circumstances. Fear is almost like a gate, and you control the password to really, really unlock the fear gate. So overcoming fear is not a one-off event. Instead, it's a step-by-step process where as you really start to unlock one small fear gate, you then gain confidence to really unlock another gate and another one, and thereby really increasing confidence and moving forward from your comfort zone towards higher possibilities. But when you're actually trying to encourage, or you're trying to step into a space whereby you're trying to allow yourself to be encouraged by those people who has not done the work yet, by the way, you will stay exactly where you are. And that's why I always invest in people who's done it. I always invest in people who are thriving. I always invest in people, even in my space, even in my energy, even with family, everything. I don't sit with people. And actually, this is the thing, like, I don't have to tell somebody to go away. Like, I don't have to do that. For some reason, like energetically, it just happens, you know, but I don't have to share that space. Removal of your barriers is real key. Fear forces you to really, really examine your real or imagined barriers that is holding you back from achieving your goals. But barriers, these things include anxiety, the inaction, the needs of absolute control, the defensiveness, the fearing you can't do it, comfortable, with the way things are, uncertainty, time and effort, all these different things, but not knowing any other way of doing things, overwhelming thinking of the big picture. Staying up really late, in your business because you're like, oh, well, if I don't stay up really late, it's like I'm not working hard enough in my business. When all you need to do is to get yourself in check. The journey and the healing that you need to take is with you. So removal of the barriers is not a one-off process. It's rather, it really involves like identifying the major barriers holding you back and talking and just taking these small steps and actions on an absolute regular basis towards defeating your barriers. And I want you guys to pace yourself, because sometimes we want the outcome. We want things to happen straight away. And this is what the unknown teaches you, is to have patience, to create it from a space whereby you are no longer filled with all these different things. You're filled from a space of abundance. Breaking your routine is real key. Presence of fear when undertaking a real big goal, it really, really tells you that you're absolutely stretching yourself and you're getting out of your comfort zone. So the main worry, which could be like something like this, your fear can stem from not being sure about how to do things, or you wonder if you're really in the preferred mode of operation in terms of how you work. But should you do things the same way? Is there a better way to absolutely do it? So then you sit down and you're like, cool, I'm going to go invest myself in these programs, and I'm going to do all these online courses, and I'm going to get all these freebies of how to upscale and sell in my business for and earn over 100K. How is it that I'm actually going to earn 5K every single year and everything like that? And yeah, like I'm going to sit on this webinar and this one and this one and this. And before you know it, you're so fucking overwhelmed with all of this information. What do? You don't do anything at all. Understand what your fear is doing to you. And when you allow yourself to really sit in that space, you then realize that you cannot deny yourself your self-care, and you cannot deny the investment that you need to make in order to have someone to support you. In any business, there's going to be debt. In any business and anything that you go into, you have to put yourself in that space of uncomfortableness in order to thrive. How many of you guys are absolutely doing that? How many of you guys are sitting down there right now watching my live and like, shoot, do you know what? This is kind of making a bit of sense, but what am I really doing? This is what I'm saying. Opportunities and resources is affiliated with fear, but it's also identification. And fear tells you that something could be absolutely missing. You see, when our resources is absolutely not there, or we don't have it, or we say we don't have any money to basically do things like that, please be careful what comes out of your mouth, because the energy that you give off is what you're going to receive back. And we talk about this a lot more when we go into manifestation. But at the same time, it's really, really humbling to absolutely know that you don't have the answers for everything. And this encourages you then to actually be cautious and really guide our progress to really, really take steps such as learning from others and learning by yourself. Get outside from yourself and view yourself like an absolute outsider. What is it that you would want to improve about yourself? What advice would you give to yourself? How would you improve yourself? As a consultant, like, consult yourself. What suggestions and recommendations would you make to yourself? Ain't it funny that we could be in this predicament, but we can advise others, but we don't take our own advice? Like, shoot, the way I actually go in on myself sometimes I can be real hard on myself. But here's the thing, I'm very compassionate about it because I know where it's coming from. I know it's coming from a place of that I just want better and I want something more. And I know that I absolutely deserve it. It's no longer coming from a place of lack. So how many of you guys are wishing and wanting things from a place of lack and actually not really giving yourself the acknowledgement that you absolutely need to give yourself? We're in a global crisis. Like, come on. How much of you guys are actually using this time for self-reflection and actually realizing, what is it that I'm going to do that I didn't do in 2020? What am I going to do right now to really get myself outside of myself, to get myself out of that relationship, to get myself out of that predicament that I'm in terms of my business? Like, in the process of mitigating fear, one can always discover an unexpected opportunity, solutions and breakthroughs that they had not previously thought of or considered. Why? Because we change our perspective when it comes to fear. You cannot expect yourself to be making that 5-figure income or doing all these different things when you're not taking action. And your action needs to have intention. And for you to have intention, you need to understand your purpose. And that's the reason why the Intuitively Her program is so key. It's not only about having relationships with other people or a partner. It's about having relationships starting with you. How many of you guys are actually allowing your surfaced emotions to be the steer in terms of getting you to the next level where you need to get to? You can't get to the next level when you have actually not dealt with the inner depths of certain things. And that's why the reason why the masterclass is so key, because it only talks about the fraction of what the work that you need to do. 7 weeks, like, doing this intensively. 7 weeks doing this intensively. Like, anybody who's sitting down and thinking, oh, I'm not really too sure, like, come out of your own way, come out of your own ego. Fear allows you to motivate, to build your skills. Sometimes fear can point you out or point out your inadequacies in terms of the tools and the skills that you're absolutely lacking, the knowledge and the abilities that we lack to progress on a desired course or an action. But fear can act like an alarm clock for you and reminding you that you need to do a bit more homework to really pass your exams. How many of you guys are doing that? Take a limitation and just turn it into an opportunity. Take on an opportunity and turn it into an adventure by dreaming big and understanding. I'm looking at your comments here, and understanding that by you allowing yourself to really sit where you are, you're not letting go. But letting go is the absolute after strength, because fear can absolutely worry you, and it can really bring you and bring your desires to a place where you no longer have control, but you think you're in control. The reality is that no one is totally in control of life and circumstances. And there comes a point when the best course of action is to really let go and just allow things to happen on their own. And when you've done your very best, even if you fail, even if you recognize it as a failure, it's part of your journey to success. And there is a sense of strength that comes with letting go. After you've done it, your very best, and believing in your best, it reduces your anxieties, it reduces your panics, it reduces your distress, your impatience, and negative thinking. It's about time that you guys actually allow yourself to really focus on the excitement, the drive, the progress, the momentum, and the success that comes, and overcoming fear and just letting go. The beautiful journey of today can only begin when you've learned to let go of yesterday. Overcoming your fear is almost like a reward and anticipation. And when you face your fear, but you're excited and anticipating the rewards that you will get when you emerge in terms of victoriousness, this provides the boost that it absolutely motivates you. It motivates your one self to really push on. And it allows you to really weigh up your pros and cons, because the cost of being held back from taking action versus the cost of moving towards whatever it is that you want despite your fear. I mean, come on. When you're anticipating absolute rewards or greater, that a lot greater than your losses in terms of what it is that you want to do, your courage. You draw on your absolute reserves and takes the plunge and overcome your fear with the knowledge. And although success is absolutely not guaranteed, you at least gave it your best effort. One of the greatest discoveries anybody can take, one of the greatest surprises, is to find what it is that you can do and do it when you're afraid. Do it when you couldn't do it. That is one of the best feelings to absolutely be in. When you overcome your fear, you're not only helping others, but you're also helping yourself in terms of your breakthrough. And if you're not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. Your life will become better by making other people's lives better, but it has to start with you. I always think of this part in terms of the process of being successful is being able to replicate results. I've seen so many different people have over 5,000 followers, or have over 100K followers, or have over 1 million followers and do these different things. And I talk to these people and they're not earning any money. And they have these fears, but they've just stuck to the same routine of doing the same things. What does this do? It creates an illusion. It creates an illusion for you that is absolutely there. I always think of the part of success as being able to really replicate results and taking what is interesting or valuable about yourself as a professional person and seeing if you bring it into a different situation with the similar results, what can you gain from it? And I'm saying to you guys right now, how are you allowing your fear to be of benefit to you? How are you allowing your fear to be the reasons why you need to overcome and show up for you? You cannot expect someone to show up for you when you're not doing it for yourself. It's okay to sit down and get readings or get all these different things and everything being given to you. But how many of you guys are actually putting these things in action? And how many of you guys are doing it from a place where you don't understand your purpose and what it is that you're doing? The work is required, and the investment that you need to make in yourself is an investment that I'm telling you right now will be a lot smaller with bigger results than what you've been taxed with over the years. So how many of you guys are going on a diet after this live? Like, I just want to know. Just want to know. Okay, no, this was needed. I need to hear this at this moment. I'm listening and absorbing. Oh, gosh. Girl, amazing. Right. So how are you living your fear? Like, how are you living for yourself? Like, what are you guys doing for yourself? And I want to know your takeaways. Like, I want to know your takeaways. I want to hear what you guys have got to say in regards to this. But yeah, so the masterclass is going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 10th of March. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. And this is about how to actually move your self-doubt into self-confidence and understanding where you're coming from in regards to that. This is going to be epic. This is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to see you guys there. And I'll be posting the link shortly, probably between now and then within the next 24 hours. You'll basically see it on there. Sign up. Like, let's do this. About time you guys taking action and doing what it is that's best for you and just being the best version of yourself. Bloody hell, this light totally soaked me out. Anyway, right, okay, I put it above how and what I want to do. I am okay. I love this. I love this. I love this. Right, so I will go to my quarters now. It's been great, you guys. It's been great. And I cannot wait to see you guys on Wednesday. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.